Welcome to NocBro Nation.
Welcome back, guys. Jarrell here.
And I'm Josh, and today we're here to discuss Season 11 and the remaining characters, actors that need to be cast for the Commonwealth story arc.
Yeah, guys, so this will not contain any spoilers for the Walking Dead comments in the Commonwealth story arc. If you guys want to go read it, it's definitely issue 175 through the end. But yeah, this won't contain any spoilers. We're just going to go through the remaining characters left to be cast in the Commonwealth story arc and for Season 11.
Could they've casted him already and just not announced it, I'm sure?
It's possible, but we're just letting you guys know the actual characters left to be cast. Now, we're not going to go through and name off actors who we think can play them because I can't do that myself. I can't think of an actor to play a certain role. It's just, I can't think of that many people, so I can't do it. I could. Well, he could, but you guys let us know in the comments. But so guys, if you guys aren't aware, the Commonwealth is a network of communities who first appeared in issue 175 of the Walking Dead comic book series, and they were based in Ohio. Now, the Commonwealth has advanced equipment and almost 50,000 people surviving in their communities. They have different arenas. They have sports arenas for concerts, sports, musicians, and things. Now, the Commonwealth is under control of Governor Pamela Milton. She governs with an army of guards led by Officer Mercer at her disposal, and they don the white armor and wield rifles, spears, and shields. Now, the one downside to the Commonwealth is that they live by a class system. So whatever you did in the pre-apocalypse, that's what you do now. So they have a high class and a low class. Yeah, and
it doesn't go over very well with our survivors, at least from the source material. Now, one prime example of what he's talking about is if you are a lawyer pre-apocalyptic event and you come to the Commonwealth, you are evaluated as a higher class member and given such rights as, you know, more extravagant living.
Yep.
At least this is what we saw briefly in the source material. Others are, you know, the lower class is given jobs like, you know, maybe a person at a bakery or a janitor, right? And if that's the case, I'm sure there are stuff like other events like, you know, low class can't do certain things that higher class can. So it's not the best system to be living by.
Yeah, so they are kind of like a little monarchy. You know, everyone's happy as far as we know, but they get into it more in the source material where you do see some problems emerging from that. So let's get to these characters. So the main one, Governor Pamela Milton. She's the governor of the Commonwealth. Pre-apocalypse, she was a politician, and she may have lived in or near Ohio with her husband, son, and daughter. They do not go into the husband and daughter too much in the series because they weren't there, but she does have a son named Sebastian.
Yeah. So if you want a perfect example of what this person would look like, Georgie. So a little bit older. I think in the source material it was a younger Pamela Milton.
Yeah, I can't remember the age, but we'll put a picture up showing, you know, Pamela Milton and Georgie. And when we got introduced to Georgie, that was the rumor. Is like, is this Pamela Milton from the Commonwealth? Yeah. I mean, she just from the look, it was like that's the only thing us comic book source materials could reference. Like, she looks exactly like this character.
Yeah.
It turns out it's not going to be.
It was down to the necklace.
Yeah, it was down to the necklace, too.
I mean, you couldn't go any more obvious than that. But yes, it is confirmed she is not, obviously, Governor Pamela Milton.
Exactly. So, and then next is Lance Hornsby. And Lance Hornsby is a bookkeeper and administrator of the Commonwealth. He's also a deputy governor of the Commonwealth.
He's a snake.
Yeah, nothing is known about him pre-apocalypse. He possibly lived in or near Ohio. Given his high ranking with the Commonwealth, it's probable that he had a well-paying and respected job and or was upper class. Now, we mentioned Lance Hornsby in one of the teasers because
I think we hear his voice, right?
You possibly hear his voice in the background asking, you know, what is your name? What are you doing here? That's part of our group in the train yard being interviewed by this person, and it happened the exact same way.
Yeah, that has to happen in this Commonwealth. Is they are interviewed by Lance, and that is it. Yeah. You're not going any further.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but Lance will make the decision whether they can even come in after being interviewed.
Correct. Yeah.
So I mean, this guy is he just comes off, at least in the source material, as very snaky, like you know, rat. You know, just not a good character.
Yeah. So I mean, we know of the actress who's playing Stephanie. That already has been confirmed. She is not at the train yard in the source material. They eventually, Eugene wants to speak with her, and that's where Lance then takes them to the Commonwealth to do more interviews to make Pamela Milton also decide whether they can stay or not, and that's where Eugene then meets with Stephanie and everything begins.
Yep.
So the next is another character. I wouldn't say major character. We did see him, but his name is Maxwell Hawkins. He is Pamela Milton's personal assistant. Nothing is known about him prior to the outbreak. It's likely that he had a job as an assistant or something similar in that field to work as a personal assistant for Pamela Milton.
Yeah, I mean, we assume that for everyone
exactly.
that we don't know.
Yeah, he's a personal assistant, so he said he's had a high class. He's had that type of job, and you see him just a little bit in the source material, not too much, but it's a focal point that you do see a few times, so that's why we're bringing him to the list here. And then the final is Mercer, and he is the personal bodyguard for Pamela and Sebastian, former de facto leader of the Commonwealth Army, former soldier of the militia, and pre-apocalypse, he was in the U.S. Marines. And this guy is badass.
Yes, he is.
So instead of the white armor, he wears orange. And he has an axe. 2 axes, I believe.
This dude's badass.
This dude's big black dude. Like, just big dude.
You wouldn't think of anyone that you'd like to see. You can't think of anyone. I mean, I don't want to do it for the rest of the characters, but Mercer, you can't think of anyone. Idris Elba.
Idris Elba? Yeah, he'd be cool. He'd have to get...
Just for his acting skills.
His acting skills. He doesn't have to get, like, massively huge, like The Rock or something.
I mean, obviously, we could go into, like, Terry Crews.
Ooh, Terry Crews. There we go.
But like, could you imagine?
I just can't.
I can't see Terry Crews being Mercer.
No, I can't think of it. So, we were sent something on Twitter. I think this is going around. So, there's a photo, and I think it was sent by somebody. It was sent by somebody in a different language. So if you translate it, it says Michael is in Atlanta. It seems that the scenes of Mercer are coming. So it's this guy. I'd have to look at what his name is. It's a black guy, and apparently he posted something that he is in Atlanta. Now people are just kind of assuming, is he going to be Mercer? Why is he in Atlanta? I mean, he's an actor, so they're trying to put 2 and 2 together. But of course, nothing has been revealed of who is going to be playing him, and I think they're going to wait until season 11.
Yeah, and also keep in mind, guys, I'm throwing out big names, but that's not the MO of The Walking Dead to get big names like that to play characters like Mercer.
Right.
It will be somebody I don't think that is relatively new or that we haven't heard of. Yeah. Or at least I haven't.
Exactly. So, we've said it before, we'll say it again, the Commonwealth story arc was a decent story. It was the end of the comic series. It could have been better, but we know Robert Kirkman was trying to get finished with it, and a lot of things seemed rushed. We're not putting it down, but it was not our favorite arc of the comic series.
Forgotten someone, or did they already cast him?
Who?
Sebastian.
Oh, I mentioned Sebastian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry. There's not much to say about Sebastian.
It was really quick, yeah.
We can't say much without giving spoilers away about who he is in the comic book story. So, yeah, we won't say much, but yeah.
Regardless of how it turned out in the source material, I'm excited. I think it will be completely redone, and I think we've said that before on other videos.
Yeah,
completely redone.
We can't say much, but because of certain characters in the show compared to the comics, we can't.
We can say certain things, like Carl was a big one.
Carl was a big one
for storylines down the road, which is why it was such a shock that they killed him off. But they have to remix that. Right. They got to remix a couple other things that I think it'll be completely different.
Rick not being in the show changes things. Michonne not being in the show changes things.
Oh yeah.
But those are like
how are they gonna do that,
dude?
She was probably one of the biggest characters of our main characters that was involved in that story arc.
Yeah, it was. Well, and Rick, her and Rick. But even after what happened, Michonne was
Yumiko would be mixed into that spot.
She could. Oh, yes. Definitely she could.
Didn't she mention her job?
She was a lawyer.
Yes.
You go. She was a lawyer to Yumiko.
Damn it.
Or, sorry, to Magna. For Magna,
there you go.
Yeah. So, guys, a lot of things are going to change, which is fine. The Walking Dead has done a great job in the past of changing things around from the source material where, let's say, certain characters died early in the source material, but they're still alive in the show, or vice versa. They've done a great job, and we've thoroughly enjoyed it. And this last season, I think, being 24 episodes, I think they're gonna have the time to expand and really, they're already in production, so I'm sure they've really expanded and written certain aspects of the Commonwealth similar, but then changed because of certain characters aren't going to be there. So
yeah, I mean, either way, I think
Or
it'll
give
be
them to somebody
great.
else.
I think that we're in store for a lot of things that I'm sure they're cooking up stuff that, you know, we're not even aware of.
Oh,
you
for
know,
sure.
Rick coming back.
We never are because we're not on the inside.
Rick coming back.
Oh
No.
we've said it. We want him to. Of course, you guys do as well. But
there are rumors that he is, or that topic has been approached. But again, his face is making right now.
There were rumors that he was coming back at the end of The Walking Dead World Beyond season 1. Like, come on, no.
Yeah.
If they do it for the season 11 finale, for the series finale, like kind of like we said in the previous video, just have him come up to Alexandria, maybe with Michonne. You don't even hear anybody speaking. It's just you see Judith, you see RJ, you see people coming up. Close the gates. Done.
I mean, wouldn't that be probably the best way to end it?
The best way to end it.
I mean,
no dialogue. Just you look at the faces.
Just having him and Michonne come back for that final episode together.
Yeah.
Like, look, you still have a good 10 years of gap that you can provide stories, movies, and stuff like that. So, like,
I just had part of that scene come up in my mind right now. So AMC, if anybody from AMC is watching, get this back to them. So we see the gates of Alexandria, right?
I mean, you're assuming it happens in Alexandria.
We're assuming it happens, but let's say it does. We see the gates of Alexandria, right? A nice wide shot. Then it comes up to a close shot of two people walking with their holding hands. It's a white hand and a black hand. And you see the outlines of their bodies. We know who they are, right?
That'd be
You
sweet.
just know it. And then it pans back, and you see their silhouettes. We know who they are. Gates open, all that jazz.
And then it fades to black and we're done.
Fades to black. Gates close and we're done. Like, come on. How poetic would that be?
Yeah, but wouldn't you be a little pissed off that it just fades to black?
Yeah.
Well, you got to have, hopefully Daryl's still there.
Show some shots of the Daryl Rick hugging.
No, you got to have that as a main scene. That dude's been searching for him for years.
Yeah.
That deserves, and the audience wants to see that.
They
do. Yeah, I mean.
And guess what? Another shot. Remember when Daryl gave Rick back his gun? Guess who's going to give Rick back his gun now? Judith!
Oh, yeah, dude, yeah.
Judith just handing the gun back? Come on. Legit.
Would she even remember him? I mean, she remembers what her mother has told her, but...
because of how young she was, I would imagine she would probably remember his face, at least. Yeah, definitely. So, but I remember...
there are people that remember everything of their lives. It's very rare, but...
I remember Judith mentioning in an episode where she said it's becoming harder and harder to remember his face, you know? So, yeah.
I don't know why you wouldn't give that to the fans of the final episode. And it wouldn't be logistics, right? Yeah. I mean, you could get Rick.
Yeah.
You could get Andrew Lincoln and Denai Guerrero, I'm sure, to do one freaking episode.
Okay. I changed my mind. At the last episode, they will dedicate half an hour, the last half an hour, to Rick's return.
Yeah.
How about that?
Absolutely. Thank you. Deal.
Rick and Michonne's return will be the remaining half an hour of the final episode.
Our negotiation has come to an end.
Done.
And we've agreed.
All right, guys. We went on a tangent, but that's okay.
We did. I have spoken.
Yes. Let us know what you think in the comments. Subscribe if you're new. And stay tuned for more Walking Dead from us. I'm Jarrell.
I'm Josh.
We're NocBro Nation. We're out.